I'm sorry? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Father.
With heavy heart I raise my chin as I see my numbers wearing thin. The sky hangs low, the light burns dim. I know not if I sink or swim. We know not yet what the future brings, but a bird, still a bird without its wings. Each day is a curious thing. If I can't take flight, then inside I'll sing. My mind is full, my chest clings tight. Young faces to me in fright, with no clear ending now in sight. I'll hold my children close at night. We know not yet what the future brings. The future brings, but a bird, still a bird without its wings. Without its wings. Each day is a curious thing. A curious thing. If I can't take flight, then inside I'll sing. Behind closed doors, my spirit wanes. Behind closed doors, my spirit still the sun shines bright through the window pane. The sun shines bright through the window. And my voice rides high, though my heart is strained. While my hopes run dry, my strength remains. We know not yet what the future brings, but a bird, still a bird without its wings. Each day is a curious thing. If I can't take flight, then inside I'll sing.
Good morning, and welcome to Brighton Unitarians. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Eleanor Chiari, and I'm a regular visitor to this wonderful chapel. And for those who know me, hello, again. So if you're joining us online, hello. We imagine you invisibly joining our sacred circle. Just to let you know, there are about 30 people in this chapel today and 2 dogs. You are welcome today exactly as you are. Whatever brings you here this morning, whatever you are seeking, I hope you find it. For Unitarians, there's no singular path or belief. Even our reasons for gathering are diverse and personal. And yet we come together, and by our showing up, our being here right now, we make now sacred. We make it precious. So let's take a moment to settle and honor our time together. Allow your breath to help you leave your everyday worries aside for the time being. Like an umbrella or a raincoat, you'll be able to tend to them later. And if the burdens you carry are too heavy to ignore, may you find some comfort in our time together and in this gathered community. May you feel held and safe. This time and this place is for you and for us. So let's take 3 long, deep breaths together and let go. I lit our chalice as Unitarian congregations do across the world. May this chalice light burn like the bonfires human lit back in the beginning of the world. May it warm us as we rest along our sacred journeys. May it keep us safe from fear. May it remind us of the power of community to hold and honor the suffering and despair that cannot be contained. And may we be filled with light so that we may build sanctuaries of kindness everywhere we go. Amen. Welcome. I understand that yesterday was a deep and meaningful day for this congregation. With your words and bodies, you held each other in the hard task of ritually saying goodbye to Jeff Jones, an irreplaceable leader and a dear friend to many of you. Naming and honoring are not empty gestures, but they are practices of deep spiritual connection and love. And in the midst of this connection and despair, they serve the urgent task of repairing the world. I'll just let this person come in. Something important happens when we gather together with purpose, when we sing together, when we recite from holy and unholy texts. Our words are not just words, but they become incantations, words that are meant to change the world, to bewitch us with a meaning that sometimes rests beyond the words themselves. In the root of the word incantation, incanto or cantatio, to sing, just as in the word enchantment, which is the French version, enchantement, to chanter is to sing. The prefix in suggests an inside, an inner singing. Words recited in ritual way are sung into something, both into a space, like into this chapel, but also directly into the heart. So today's service will try to do this, to bring forth incantations for togetherness, for hope, for community. It will be divided into 3 parts. You, whispers into the heart from Rilke and Mary Oliver. Me, in which you will be invited to practice some affirmations and a body prayer. And everyone we know, in which we will explore I-thou encounters and practice a shortened version of the Tibetan Buddhist Tonglen meditation. So there's going to be a lot of space, and I hope all of these practices will be aimed not so much at explaining the sense of incantation, but at triggering an inner singing within you. I'm not sure if I'll succeed, but I'm trying. I'll try. So let's begin by singing together hymn 21, Come and Find the Quiet Center. Part 1. You. Initiation. Whoever you are, go out into the evening, leaving your room of which you know each bit. Your house is the last before the infinite, whoever you are. Then, with your eyes that wearily scarce lift themselves from the worn-out doorstone, slowly you raise a shadowy black tree and fix it on the sky, slender, alone. And you have made the world, and it shall grow and ripen as a word, unspoken, still. When you have grasped its meaning with your will, then tenderly your eyes will let it go. These are translated words by the poet Rainer Maria Rilke. I'm pronouncing it the Italian way. I never get it right, but whatever. The first time I read them, I felt that the you of the poem was speaking to me directly. From across time and space, the Austrian poet whispered straight into my 25-year-old soul and made it incandescent, alive, alert. I still really don't understand the poem, but it has enchanted me ever since. Does anybody need me to read it a second time? Because I haven't given you the text, sorry. So, whoever you are, go out into the evening, leaving your room of which you know each bit. Your house is the last before the infinite, whoever you are. Then, with your eyes that wearily scarce lift themselves from the worn-out doorstone, slowly you raise a shadowy black tree and fix it on the sky, slender, alone. And you have made the world, and it shall grow and ripen as a word, unspoken, still. When you have grasped its meaning with your will, then tenderly your eyes will let it go. What is Rilke doing in this poem with the dark tree? Is his very writing lifting a tree out of nothing and leading us into the mystery of silence, perhaps of prayer? Does it matter? So much speaks to me, whoever I am. Padre Gutuma has reflected on the magic of the word you in poetry. For him, poems that use you are always also exploring who is speaking while seeking a you that can read them. So poems are always seeking readers, but you poems are seeking an intimate encounter. When people pray, they're doing the same thing. Blessed are you, embrace of the falling, foundation of the light, master of the human accident, writes Leonard Cohen beautifully in the Book of Mercy. Blessed are you, embrace of the falling, foundation of the light, master of the human accident. I'm not sure I understand that either. One of Mary Oliver's most cited and beloved poems, Wild Geese, also invokes this mysterious you, and by naming it reassures whoever you are of their place in the world. I'm sure you've probably heard it before, but I will read it to you again. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. And it's another incantation, a prayer, but also a blessing, that whoever you are reminds you that you are welcome exactly as you are. The poem blesses you. No matter how broken or lonely, you too have a place and belong to the family of things. You have made the world, says Rilke, and the world offers itself to your imagination, says Mary Oliver. I carry these words and speak them to you, and with those incantations, we become kin. From I to you, we, belonging to the family of things. So let's sing hymn number 98, Love Will Guide Us. Part 2, me. So as I stand before you today, I'm many things. Other woman in her late 40s with an indefinite leave to remain in the UK. I'm a mother of 2 children, one who just started secondary school this week. I'm the wife of a musician and the owner of a ridiculously small dog. I'm an associate professor of teaching at a Russell Group University and a Unitarian, a proud one. I am also on the mental health register for cyclothymia, the slightly more manageable younger sister of bipolar disorder. I struggle with climate anxiety and catastrophic thinking. I can be narcissistic, and I think I'm always right about politics. Although I am gregarious, I often feel lonely. I am lazy, but I tend to rush through my days and rush others too, finishing their sentences. I could go on. All these things I've mentioned are true about me, but are they me? We all go around with similar labels and categories, things we show others and things we think about ourselves. Some of these labels suit us and some of them feel too tight, but none can do justice to the murmuration of atoms, hormones, thoughts, emotions, and experiences that make us a living being conscious on any given moment. So rather than asking ourselves, who are we? Who are you? It may be more productive to ask a question beloved by the American presenter Oprah Winfrey. What has happened to you? This is a universal question, but it also allows for our ever-changing experiences to have their place in the moment we're thinking of that question. There are days where what has happened to you is only getting out of bed. On other days, we may face long-term traumas, grief, or infinite gratitude. So let me allow you a few moments to ask yourself that question for today and right now. Looking at your life, what has happened to you? And be sure to include both the good and the difficult. And I'll give you a few moments of silence. Whatever feelings or thoughts have come up for you just now, allow them. Hold them with kindness and care, gently. Any story is always a simplification, a shorthand for life, and sometimes giving stories a different title can change their feel. Counter-arguments or positive affirmations in the face of self-judgment or deep grief can act as a contemporary form of incantation and can be soothing. Now, I'm not suggesting that all we have to do is change our titles to our grief and everything will be hunky-dory. It will not. But practicing affirmations sometimes in moments of despair can really be a comfort. So I'm going to have us try this out. Even if it's artificial and you may find it really deeply cringeworthy, I invite you to repeat after me out loud or in silence as you feel more comfortable. And if you really hate this exercise, just don't do it. The following 6 affirmations. So I'm gonna suggest them. So 1, I am not my past. I am not my past. I accept myself for who I am. I accept myself for who I am. I am enough. I am enough. My quirks, flaws, and imperfections make me uniquely me, and I value them. My quirks, flaws, and imperfections make me uniquely me, and I value them. I give myself permission to grow and change. I give myself permission to grow and change, and I can be of service. I can be of service. Notice any responses in your body. Did you feel yourself relaxing or just tensing up? Both are perfectly fine responses. But this exercise can be something that you can introduce in your practices of meditation or prayer if you want to. If you have ever practiced meditation or other forms of contemplation, you may be familiar with the sense of a self beyond the story self. That other self, which you can sometimes glimpse through practicing stillness, exists in a space beyond words, beyond judgment, and in many ways, beyond even the self. For those who believe in God, that is the part of ourselves most likely to feel and experience the presence of the divine. So it's the self you can reach beyond the affirmations. So to experience some of this stillness, other self, that sings to the inner self, I invite you now to practice a body prayer with me, a bodily incantation that we will repeat twice with words and then twice together in silence. It is a body prayer known as the Prayer of Julian of Norwich, based on her words, and which the Franciscan priest Richard Rohr adapted in 2014, and I'm slightly editing. So if it's comfortable, I invite you to stand, or if it's more comfortable to stay sitting, you can do this sitting. And just to let you know, I will be using God language, but if you're an atheist, you can replace the word God with universe, nature, aliveness, awareness, or any word that feels right to you. So let's begin. And for those online, I've lifted this thing here, so you now can't see the movement, but I'll just show you. I'll show the congregations and then I'll suggest to you what the movement is. I don't think you can see it. So the first movement is await. For those online, it's like this, but lower. So await. Await God's presence, not as you expect, hope, or imagine, but just as it is at this moment. Allow. Allow a sense of God's presence, keep the movement, to come and be what it is without meeting your expectations. So allow. Accept. Accept as a gift whatever comes or does not come. Accept that you are not in charge. Accept the infinity of God's presence, present whether or not you are aware. And then attend. Attend to what you are called to, offering your service, presence, and love to the world. Okay, so let's do this again. I hope you could all see it over there online. Okay, so await. Allow. accept, attend. And the last two will be in silence and more slowly. Thank you. Let's sing hymn 38 for the music of creation. Part 3, everyone we know. I have recently come back from Hucklow Summer School, where for a whole week, my children and I spent every waking moment with roughly 45 Unitarians. It was exhausting and fabulous. The theme for this year, Real Life, challenged us to meet other people there, not with their thin stories, those stories we offer the world when we first meet them, how are you, where do you come, where do you live, but instead to delve into the thick stories of our lives, those that also include our flaws and those aspects we are less proud of. Our theme speaker for the week, Louis Baumberg, started us off with a quote from Martin Buber. The basis of human life is twofold, and it is one: the wish of every person to be confirmed as what they are, even as what they can become by other people, and the innate capacity of humankind to confirm their fellow humans in this way. Actual humanity exists only where this capacity unfolds. The wish for every person to be confirmed as what they are by other people, and our capacity to confirm fellow humans in this way. Seems like a simple thing, but it's, to me, very deep. This twofold deeper purpose of human life is captured by Martin Buber in the idea of the I-thou encounter. This is an encounter that can't be planned, but where people for a few moments meet and see each other for what they truly are. When two people relate to each other authentically and humanly, Buber writes, God is the electricity that surges between them. When two people relate to each other authentically and humanly, God is the electricity that surges between them. These words resonate deeply within me. They enchant me. I can't relate to the God of my childhood that sees all things and damns people to hell, but I can relate to Buber's God, a God that is a verb, an energy that happens when people connect truly and deeply. In Saint Irenaeus' words, the glory of God is a human being fully alive, and nothing enlivens me more than a deep and true encounter with others. The challenge in this time of division and internet isolation, of war and political hatred, is how to be present to our lives and to others so that I-thou relationships are possible and are possible everywhere, with everyone we know, everyone that comes into our lives. This means the homeless person we step over without making eye contact, the person waiting in line in front of us at the post office, the person posting something we find hateful on social media. We can start by making the world, by using our imaginations and our hearts. So I'm now going to guide you into an extended time of meditation. And we're going to be practicing the Tibetan Buddhist meditation called Tonglen, which means sending and receiving, but it can also be translated as exchanging self with other. So in a way, it's an I-thou relationship. So if you can let go of anything that you don't need to be holding right now and take a couple of check-in with your posture, feel a little string coming through from the top of your head, maybe lower your chin slightly, and begin to breathe. If it feels comfortable, you can do this with your eyes closed, or you're welcome to keep them open. So as you breathe, notice the cool breath coming in and let it fill you. And then as you breathe out, notice that the breath is warm. Cool air is being drawn into your body and warm air is flowing out. You can notice it particularly around the nostrils. Try to feel that temperature change. Notice this transformation that is occurring, the alchemy of your own body. Cool air comes in, and the air that is coming out of your body is warmed as it breathes out. Now, as you breathe, imagine that the warmth from your heart is a bright and radiant light. So imagine that with every out-breath, you also send bright light from your heart outward. So let go of the idea of the breath and move into the idea of the heart. So almost have your heart become more illuminated as you inhale, and then imagine that it's sending light out a little bit. So practice feeling that light in your heart. And think of the warmth and light of your heart as a source of deep strength and courage. And now bring to mind someone that you love and care for. Think about how they're doing, their joys and their sorrows. And now imagine that this person's suffering is a toxic cloud, a dark, toxic cloud. And in your next breath in, imagine that you can help relieve their suffering by drawing in some of this toxic cloud. Imagine breathing it into your body. And imagine that you could lighten their load as you draw in the pain of their suffering and it dissolves into the bright light that is in your heart. Sort of almost imagine this cloud melting as it comes into your heart, and then breathe out, letting that dissolve. The light represents the essence of all the goodness and strength inside you. So as you inhale this terrible, dark, toxic cloud, see it dissolving and getting extinguished by the light of your heart. Breathe in the cloud of pain, see it dissolve as it touches your heart. And on the warm out breath, send out that bright healing light from your heart. The light envelops their heart, giving them health and strength. And stay with this visualization for a little while, linking it with the effortless rhythm of your breath. Now expand your field of awareness to include people in this congregation, or if you're new here, others that you love. They all wish to be free from pain and sorrow. And imagine that all the suffering from these people who are dear to you emerges as a toxic cloud that you draw in with your breath, and as you do, it dissolves into the light of your heart. And you can imagine many toxic clouds and breathing them in, drawing them even from the room. Breathe in the cloud of suffering. Let the light of your heart dissolve it. Breathe out the healing light and send it out like golden strings all across this chapel. And as this suffering is imaginatively transformed, your capacity to love and care is made stronger, not weaker, as it merges with your intention and care. So continue to do that for a few breaths. And now expand your awareness to include all beings without exception. You might choose different groups of people or beings, maybe thinking of people of a particular country or community that is suffering right now, or animals. Breathe in their pain, resolve, breathe out from your heart the healing light that envelops them. Breathe in the cloud of suffering. Let the light of your heart dissolve it. Breathe out the healing light to those you have chosen. And imagine that as a result of sending out this bright light, everyone you know and all sentient beings are filled with your love. So take a couple more breaths to rest. Let go of this visualization slowly, allowing your heart, mind, and body to simply be in the present moment for a few more breaths. If it's comfortable, open your eyes, maybe stretch for a second, wiggle your toes and fingers, move your neck a bit. And let's sing hymn 195, We Sing a Love. I leave you now with the last incantation for my favorite poet, Padre Gotuma. Prayer, like poetry, like breath, like our own names, has a fundamental rhythm in our bodies. So let us pick up the stones over which we stumble, friends, and build altars. Let us listen to the sound of breath in our bodies. Let us listen to the sound of our own voices, of our own names, of our own fears. Let us look up and out and around. The world is big and wide and wild and wonderful, wicked, and our lives are murky, magnificent, malleable, and full of meaning. Oremus, let us pray. So go well. Feel the breath in your body and the light of love and community shining in your heart. Go gently and seek out presence, openness, and connection wherever you can be of service. Thank you for having me. Thank you for bringing things up, and Kathy for your beautiful singing. And I think you have, oh, sorry. There are notices? Yeah.
Thank you for that.